Whoa. Ah. Oh my days. Oh my goodness. How you doing, everybody? How are you doing? My oh my. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Here we are. Look at that beautiful picture quality. My goodness. Who would have known that last week it was so terrible? My apologies for that again. We're back to normal this week in my room, so the internet will be fine. That was just so bad last week. I do apologize. I feel like I haven't done a good job with the live streams this year. So hi everybody, how you doing? What's this? Looks and sounds good. Yeah. Hey guys, how you doing? Good to see you. I know, my god, last week, what a disaster. What an absolute disaster. Very embarrassing. And I kind of just had to like abandon ship because I was like, what kind of rewatchability has this got? You know? You got any theories or opinions on the? Oh god, the prelude. I haven't read it yet. I was gonna read it before the episode tomorrow. I haven't actually read it yet. I should have read it before I came on here. Actually, that would have been a smart idea. I've been meaning to. I was up last night. I think I was about to head to bed, and then I saw I'm a part of the Subwave network on Instagram, and I saw they posted it in there. And at first, I thought it was an actual prequel that they uploaded to YouTube, like something they had filmed. But it's because it's a poet who's going to be. I can explain the general plot of it. Yeah, sure, fire away. Yeah, I know the guy who's writing tomorrow's episode is a poet, so I understand why it would be a written thing. But yeah, I haven't read it yet actually. I'm contemplating putting my fan on. It's a little bit hot in here. Isn't it weird that we're in? Can you hear this? Is this too loud? Is that too loud? I don't want to. I know these live streams aren't exactly like the best quality ever, so you know I might just do that. It's still getting a bit hot in Australia these days. Forget about winter. Yeah, so I haven't read it yet, but I will. I'll get around to it. He's a poet, hence why the Harbinger will ride with Barbinger. Yeah. The god of storytelling. I actually am excited for tomorrow's episode. I really am. I think we've got a banger on our hands. Potentially. How's things in Perth? They're fine. How are things in Perth? They're okay. I signed my contract today for my new job. Well, one of 3 contracts. So I'm not fully done yet, but I'm definitely getting closer. I got my NDIS check done today. Or yesterday, sorry. Which was just a background check on me and stuff, so I could work in the disability area. So that cleared, which is good. And then, yeah. But Perth's doing good. I've been watching a lot of, you like this, Adam, I've been watching a lot of England country cricket. Just because there's a lot of the players who actually play for like the main team in Test cricket for England play in these games, and it's kind of like a pre-season thing, and it's kind of nice to watch how they're going to perform in upcoming games. But anyway, that's a bit boring for a Doctor Who podcast, but I've been enjoying watching that lately. Been watching the Yorkshire live streams, and because it's country cricket, it's like I picked a team. I've probably picked Yorkshire because of Harry Brook, and you know, it's Harry Brook and Joe Root, and Joe Root's my favourite player, and Harry Brook. Actually, Harry and Joe are my favourite players, so yeah, I picked them. And Johnny Bairstow is in that team as well, which is crazy. Yeah, anyway, enough cricket talk. Don't want to lose my my audience. Was watching the preview pod, and since you were talking about cameos from writers and that, RTD did have an audio cameo in an episode of Miracle Day. Did he really? Did he really? Let me know if that fan's too loud, by the way, because it sounds a bit loud, but Thank you for the love on the job. There isn't much that I remember, unfortunately, but there's a girl and her friend who meets the doctor after an oil plant generator thingy catches on fire. Yeah, I saw it had something to do with a fire. So, Jeremy says Connor's starting a new job and Aiden's moved into his new place. 50% boys stay winning. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I haven't seen Aiden's new place yet. But that is where we'll be filming after series 2. So we'll be moving to that area, that studio. Not sure how it will look, but I guess that's Aiden's job to set up. I'll help move some chairs if he needs me to. I don't know. I started a live stream a bit earlier today because I'm seeing my best friend Daniel tonight, so that's why I started earlier. Which means like it's not good for live watchers, but oh well. What are you gonna do? I feel like I've been failing miserably at these live streams this year. I do apologize. I'm really trying my best. It's hard to do them sometimes. The Doctor appears in the TARDIS and helps the friend who got injured and eventually helps stop the fire. So in the story in the engine, the characters in the barbershop do know who the Doctor is, so I would assume that he's a bit of a local hero in those parts. But then again, the Doctor's a local hero everywhere, if you think about it. It's revealed at the end the girl is the daughter of a particular man who owns a barbershop. Okay, that's actually, sorry, I probably should have read that bit first. After the Doctor asks where he can find answers, and she answers the shop. Okay, that's a general summary from what I remember. Cool, I will read it. Connor, you're a Whovian Jedi. Don't sweat the streaming. Really? Thank you. I feel like I'm just, yeah, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but yeah, I just feel like I'm not doing a great job so far. All the other content I'm really happy with. It's like the live streams have been like my thing, but I just feel like I haven't really brought much to the table thus far. But you know, a Whovian Jedi? I've never been called that before. Thank you, Gary. A Whovian Jedi. Wow. It's all good. Last time wasn't a big deal. Tech issues happen. Yeah. So when I came back down from my sister's like condo area, she was like, "Oh yeah, when you go up to my room, you need to switch to a different like Wi-Fi code." And I was like, "Why are you telling me this now? I just ended the stream." So if I just connected to that, there wouldn't have been any issues last week. But she didn't tell me that until I finished the stream. So that didn't really help. I'm in the right. I believe RTD cameos right at the beginning of episode 9 of Miracle Day, and that's just an audio cameo. Well, God bless. With Lucky Day, I like you did. What? With Lucky Day, I like you did after the well. Like I'm missing something. How do you reckon Ruby stalked Conrad's Insta but didn't know he was an influencer with 80k followers? Was that explained? I don't know. That's a good question, actually. Yeah, there are a few plot holes in Lucky Day, I think. Particularly, yeah, stuff like that. The fact that they were able to make costumes that good that they would think that the shriek was real until they stood up on their feet and like started walking over when unit came down. There's a few things like that kind of take me out of the episode, but I feel like it's mostly good. The problem with and I think it could have been handled a lot worse, but the problem is when you get into that kind of area of like social media and there's a lot of people watching like our age, it can come across a little bit unrealistic, you know. Yeah, I feel like that's a good point. Like if you had 80,000 followers, then you'd be like, oh, so do you how did you get all those followers? And Aiden made a good point saying like, was the Lucky Day podcast just like a cover up, or was it always was Conrad pretending to be a nice guy, or was he secretly in the podcast being like, okay, I'm gonna try and get this. I'm gonna try and get Unit on the podcast, but don't tell anyone that I am trying to do that. But if you close your eyes and pretend you didn't see that part, you'll be fine. Doctor Who and plot holes, that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's true. Jeremy says, I feel like if they didn't show the people listening to the Lucky Day podcast, it'd be more believable that Conrad sounded like a fake podcast or something. Yeah, well, I thought when I first started watching the episode, I was like, oh, maybe he is just like maybe like a small time podcast like mine, and he starts dating Ruby and has Ruby on or something. I don't know. Again, when you start to like dive into like podcast and Instagram followers and stuff, it can all become it all falls apart a bit too quickly. Adam says we love the Friday streams. Thank you for the love. I love doing them too. I'm just feeling a little stressed out. Like life this year, too crazy for my liking. Don't like it. I'm trying to sell my car as well, so there's just a ton of shit going on. It's just too much. Jeremy says, I feel like they didn't show people listening to the Lucky Day podcast. Sorry, I just read that. Sophia says, there's a lot of stuff that hasn't been explained, including how Belinda knew the TARDIS name. I assumed that was just the Doctor mentioned it in passing and she heard through that. But I agree that yeah, just probably a plot hole. Belinda equals Time Lord, just joking maybe. Well, I have a feeling that could be 50% is a big time podcast elite. I mean, kinda, I guess. Not really. What, 1.85 thousand subscribers? Yeah, we're in the money. Yeah, I think that I actually kind of hate this. There's a few things I want to talk about. I did see the other day that there was a quote from this current Doctor Who magazine. And by the way, I should say is we had a fan reach out saying they're not going to watch the prediction podcast and stuff because sometimes we accidentally predict things, and I apologize if I accidentally predict things. That's the last thing I'd want to do. But also, I think that Doctor Who magazine, they keep posting just stupid shit that's like, just leave it for the episode. Like, they posted something about, I think we spoke about it on the live stream, so fuck it, I won't say it again, because I hate that I heard it. If you're in that live stream, you would have heard it about, they posted something in the Doctor Who magazine about Interstellar Song Contest, and it's like, why didn't you just leave that for the episode? So, they posted, I keep saying posted, they wrote in Doctor Who magazine that there's a scene, I think it's in Interstellar Song Contest, and it was a part of a reshoot that's gonna like change Doctor Who forever. And like, I'm just so sick of like, why do we have to change Doctor Who forever? Like, what's the point? I just don't get it. Like, stuff like The Timeless Child and stuff like The Bi-Generation hasn't gone down well. So why are we doing this? It just write Doctor Who. You don't have to keep, like, stop trying to reinvent the wheel. It's just, it bugs me. The problem is, big swings like that, you know, if you do something that people don't like, we'll just be stuck with it forever. So I think what people are theorizing, which is what Sophia just said, even though I think she was just joking, was that, you know, Belinda is the next Doctor. And to be honest, like, Vada Sifu is actually really great, and she actually has really surprised me about how good she is. Just because I was so like let down by Ruby's character, nothing to do with Millie, but I was just really let down by Ruby's character. So I wouldn't really be against that, but it's like, you know, it seems like a desperate ditch to like keep viewing figures up and keep Doctor Who in people's mouths and stuff. And I see Sophia saying I accidentally predicted a theory. Well, I've seen a few people on Twitter just predict it. But again, it's so, look, I know maybe some people get annoyed when like we say things and like talk about stuff, but like, look, I may have already said like, you know, a plot, like Aiden's saying like, Aiden's made a bet that Omega's in the final, and if it doesn't happen, he has to watch Empire of Death 8 times in a row. There could be leaks out there saying that Omega's in the final. I don't know that. Like, I haven't read any leaks, right? I've known next to nothing. So if we do just happen to say something, then we do. But also, you know, I want to be able to do like prediction podcasts and like do these live streams and discuss like fan theories. Like, we're all just fans, and you guys in the comments are just fans. So I don't know, like, maybe Belinda is the next Doctor, and maybe the surprise is ruined for some people now because I said that. I'm not trying to say anything. I don't know anything. No one tells me anything. So I don't know. I mean, maybe. You know, and people keep saying that Joe Martin's going to be the next Doctor, and it's like, can't we just do something original? Like, yes, I agree, Joe Martin's Doctor was great, but do we have to do that? Like, this Doctor Who thing, it gives me a headache sometimes. I just go on Twitter and I just read so many people's opinions about Doctor Who, and it's just starting to fuck me off a little bit. Oh lordy. Anyway, that was a big rant. My apologies. How would you rank the episodes of the series so far? Right, so Lux would be number 1, Lucky Day would be 2, The Well would be 3, and Robotic Revolution would be 4. I think this series so far has been really great. It should have been like this since season 1, but it hasn't. So now the show is apparently facing cancellation. That could all just be a ruse too, but who knows. It does kind of suck that it took this long to get great, but I've really been enjoying it. Even episodes I haven't loved, I still don't think they're like dog shit. Like Robot Revolution, for example, it's not the worst episode of Doctor Who I've ever seen. It's just fine. And I understand I didn't like The Well as much as other people, but I can appreciate that episode. As for Lucky Day, I had a really good time of it, and it was actually really impressed by Pete's writing. Lux is probably, maybe in, I say this all the time, I need to make a definitive list, but Lux is probably in my top 10 favorite episodes of Doctor Who of all time. I have to say, this Disney era, it always gives me at least one episode per run. So I'd say for the 60th specials, Wild Beyond Earth for Series 1, 73 yards, and for Series 2, thus far, it'll be Lux. They always give me an episode that truly blows me away and I love. And they've all been written by Russell. It's just we have to get through this like fodder of shite and misfires to get to them. But granted, I'm very hard on Doctor Who. Maybe harder than I should be, I don't know. Adam says, will Conrad be used as a new body for the Master? Potentially. Who knows? I don't know. I think he's going to be in the final. How can he not be? Maybe. I feel like we've done the Master so much, but knowing Doctor Who, they love old ideas that worked. So potentially, you know. Sophia says, if you make enough predictions, some will eventually come right. Correct. I think because Aiden predicted Sutek last year, and a few people online were predicting Sutek, and I think, yeah, that obviously came true. They put sand in the trailers too much. They gave it away. Mr. Scarlo says, with Belinda knowing the name of the TARDIS, isn't it the first time RTD has done this? Aliens to London, Jackie sees the TARDIS and doesn't hear the name yet. She says it over the phone. Yeah, she does do that. Again, I think this might just be like characters having conversations that we don't see. Definitely a plot hole, for sure. Will the Zarbi be in the final, says Adam? Maybe. Yeah. An old foe comes back, the Zarbi. Oh, the Zarbi, so funny. Sophia says, wait, where was the Doctor Magazine song contest thing he posted? This was a couple of weeks ago. I think it was May's edition or June's edition. I mentioned it not in last week's live stream, but the one before. We spoke about it. Mostly because, like, well, they did an article about it in the magazine, in Doctor Who magazine. And I almost didn't want to talk about it because it seemed like it just seemed like a spoiler and just something that just didn't need to be said. So my advice is, if you don't know what it is, just stay away from it. Just try not to read it, because it'll be a better surprise when you're watching Interstellar Song Contest. I'm not looking forward to that episode at all, to be honest. That's next week, but Bryony, am I saying that right? Bryony Miller. My apologies if I said your name wrong. By generation makes me mad every time I think about it, I'm not gonna lie. It's very silly. It doesn't make much sense. You think about it for more than 2 seconds, it doesn't make any sense. Jeremy says, watch 11th Hour again. I feel like that's a great example of showing a change in the way, but also remaining the same. Oh yeah, dude. Stephen Cook with 11th Hour it's just so great. He never recaptured that vibe with Deep Breath, in my opinion. Yeah, so good. That generally is just such a tight script. It's great. Such a great watch. Adam says Ruby is better on her own. I agree. I agree. I mean, 73 yards now and Lucky Day. I mean, Ruby's been getting, with these solo episodes, Ruby's been getting treatment that most companions would never get. The fact she's had these 2 great episodes is awesome. And Yaz was a part of the TARDIS for 5 years, and she never had an episode like this. I mean, the closest thing I can think of is in that episode, Can You Hear Me? And she has that 5-minute segment where she's feeling depressed and she has a mentor looking after her. But apart from that, it's so the fact that Ruby's got on this thus far, I think is really good, even though I do complain about her arc being pretty flat. There are bigger fish to fry, I think, in the world, but, I do like to complain about Ruby Sunday's character. Sophia says, whenever I think of Omega, I think of that one scene where he crashes out looking at the mirror without an actual form in the mirror. Yeah, Omega's kind of interesting. That's just kind of Aiden's theory, if he's in the final, he'll watch Empire of Death 8 times in a row. I don't know. I really don't know what to expect from whatever is going to be cooked in the final. I genuinely have no idea. I'm very nervous. Bryony, I think I'm saying that right. Appreciate you guys keeping spoiler free. I accidentally got spoiled on Midnight Reveal from another podcast, and it was annoying as fuck. Yeah, we try our best. I get it can be annoying when you hear stuff you don't want to. I mean, the thing is, we're just doing these in our spare time, and sometimes it's hard to prepare, and you might say something you're not supposed to. Not that we don't take it seriously, but it can get hard sometimes to plan ahead and stuff, and make sure what you're saying is not a leak, a thing that was leaked, or just because something can leak and then fans can talk about it. I heard rumbles about the Midnight sequel for months now, and then it started getting popular, and it's so do you not talk about that because it seems like most people are, but Mr. Scar says Joe Martin being the future Doctor makes no sense. I agree, but I could see something like that happening if maybe Shooty leaves kind of abruptly, maybe having a 3 specials with Joe Martin and then regenerating to another Doctor. Honestly, who knows what's happening? God knows, generally. I don't know what to. I've been really enjoying this series, and I just don't want it to end. I obviously they haven't filmed a series 3 yet. We probably won't be getting a series 3 for at least 2 years. That's if it gets renewed with Disney. It might be a little bit quicker with the BBC if it's just airing on there. I have no idea what's going on, generally. Totally agree with that ranking. Thank you. Lux was really fun. It was. I mean, Lux to me is one of my favorite episodes I've ever seen. It's so good in my opinion. Do you think cancellation rumors are overhyped? Like, surely even if Disney backs out, BBC will still be on board. Yeah, I think so. I don't. I, and also look at it from Disney's perspective, right? Series one, we don't know how the series one did on Disney rating wise, like viewing figures wise. We don't know that. We don't know the viewing figures. We do know it wasn't well received, like critic wise, but series two has been well received by critics and fans. And we still don't know what the viewing figures are, but also they have a spin off coming out. And Russell said in an interview like 2 weeks ago or something like that they have a date that they know they're going to release War Between the Land and the Sea. So that kind of gives me hope. That gives me that I would like to think it'll be in like October or something. But if I were Disney and I'm seeing the good reviews come in, surely you'd want to keep the show going because you've already made two series. You've got a spin-off coming out. The only reason I could see them backing out is I think if they back out, if they were smart, they would just back away from being a part of the show, as in like a contributor with money, and just keep the like distribution rights. Like keep like Doctor Who can be made by BBC, but be distributed through Disney Plus. Like they just keep the streaming rights. Because what a mess if it leaves Disney. What a mess. I mean, what we're gonna have series 3 on like, let's just say Amazon, for example. I would hate to see that. Although I have seen Doctor Who on Amazon before. So what if like Prime just has like series 3 onwards? That would just suck. So I would like to think even if they do drop ties with Doctor Who, it's just like a money thing and they just want to continue to distribute it. Because it must be doing okay. But then again, it's like from the BBC like standpoint, it hasn't been doing well. Like, I think Lux was the least watched episode of all time, which is crazy because Mr. Ring-a-Ding went like super viral. I've seen videos and shorts with like millions of views, but it was the least watched episode of Doctor Who of all time. I'm laughing through the pain, you know. I hate to see it. I really do. I don't. I want people to be watching it. I want people to be enjoying it. You know, I showed my mum Lux and she loved it, and she's been saying since we watched that episode, like, you know, I want to watch a few new Doctor Who episodes. So it's been making some good press, I would like to think. I don't know if they're just... Look, I did see someone tweet the other day, and this is sad but true. I did see someone tweet the other day, like, it's crazy how Russell pitched his new era as like the next best thing. Like it's going to be Doctor Who's going to be the biggest thing in the world, and you know Lux got the lowest viewing figures of any Doctor Who episode. I mean, it just sucks. Like it generally does. It's just really sad. I don't take any enjoyment out of delivering that awful news, but yeah, I don't know. Do you think there could be a 10 out of 10 in this era? Some have come close to me but haven't gotten one yet. I don't know. I think tomorrow will be really good. I'm not holding my breath for the Interstellar Song Contest. And as for the final, I mean, geez Louise, I don't know. Let's pray for the brave souls who bought cinema tickets to go see it at the movies, because it might be a bit of a shit show. Who knows? Who knows? I'm looking forward to Interstellar Song Contest for the Mrs. Flood storyline. Supposedly that's when we find out who she is. At least I think I read that. Yeah, that's what I was talking about before. That's all good. I've read it now. Yeah, that's what they said in Doctor Who magazine. It's kind of lame they said that. I don't know what to think about that. And the worst thing is, like, I'm really enjoying this series, but I really don't give a shit about Mrs. Flood. I honestly just don't care. Like, and I think the reason I don't care is because I'm super nervous to see who she is, because of the repercussions it will have. And you know, Russell keeps saying that she has such a huge part to be in the final, and I've never liked that character. I didn't like Susan Twist either. There's a lot of just hollow, boring characters in this series. I'm sorry. I hate to say it. In this new era, my goodness. A lot of people are theorizing Mrs. Flood's a Time Lord. It makes sense, I suppose. Right, well, that's my title. I should probably get my title out of the way. A secret TARDIS and the Time Lords. The story and the engine. I'm just reading my. I'm just reading my. I got you all here. I think the barbershop is probably like a TARDIS or something, and there's Time Lords in there. We see a woman like holding something that's like a Sonic. But even that I kind of hate. It's like, so what, anyone can just be a Time Lord now? What if they're all doctors from his past, from like the Timeless Child? It's just... You know, if this was... I have a whole like first series and what kind of doctor I want, what kind of companion I'd want. And obviously everyone thinks their Doctor Who ideas are the best, I get that. But I really just wouldn't do stuff like this. I think I have some good ideas. I do have one story that if I ever get to write for Doctor Who knows, I would do that one, and I think it would do really well. But doesn't everyone say that? Jeremy says there's no real satisfying answer for Mrs. Flood. If she's the Rani, then it's stupid because she doesn't act like the Rani at all. She's a scientist that likes to do experiments. That's kind of it. And I know next to nothing about the Rani, so I'm guessing I'm going to have to watch a Tales of the TARDIS again, but who knows. Sophia says I'm extremely excited for the Unit spin-off. A huge Unit fan, but I guess that basically comes with being a Third Doctor fan. Well, certainly, yeah. I mean, after Pete's delivery this week, I'm very excited for War Between Land and the Sea as well. I think that we could be in for a good time there. And again, it's like, if we have this spin-off coming, this isn't enough to save Doctor Who being with Disney, like, obviously. But I think the reviews, at least, for this series of Doctor Who isn't falling on deaf ears at Disney, and it might not be doing too good right now, but... And I'd happily recommend to people who haven't watched Doctor Who for a while just to start with Series 2, and maybe handpick a few episodes from Series 1. Not that I like to do that, but let's be completely real here. Do people want to watch Space Babies and Devil's Cord and Legend of Ruby Sunday and Empire of Death? Because I don't. Although I'm going to have to rewatch them again for my 1 year on perspective videos. Or video, should I say. There's a little tease. If they did a Tales of the TARDIS for Mark of the Rani, like they did with Pyramids of Mars with Sutekh, people would watch it and still have no idea Mrs. Flood acts the way she does if she's the Rani. Yeah, the whole Mrs. Flood thing, it just kind of sucks. I don't think it's landed at all. People just... I'm getting so sick of seeing her every episode as well. I'm going to look forward to not seeing her again in episodes. What's it with Russell just loves old women cameoing in Doctor Who? And I'm not trying to be ageist here, I'm just saying. Favourite story for each classic Doctor? Fucking hell. Shit. I'm going to say Hartnell, The Chase. Troughton, barely watched any, so I can't say that. Pertwee, probably 3 Doctors. Tom Baker, Horror Fang Rock. 5th Doctor, barely seen anything, I'll say 5 Doctors. Colin Baker, I would say... What's that Dalek episode? Resurrection of the Daleks, or whatever the fuck it's called. 7th Doctor, Survival. 8th Doctor, The Night of the Doctor. How about that? Yeah, that'll do. Least watched episodes of Doctor Who so far. That's a Simpsons movie quote. I like that. RTD took the line on your resume thing to an extreme with Disney. You know, it's like Russell is he's just a pitcher, like, and that he's really good at pitching. like he was saying in this interview, he was like that we were watching some stuff from War Within Land the Sea, and it was marvelous. We've never shot Cardiff like this before. It's absolutely marvelous. Like, and he sells it, man. He sells it. He does. He gets me excited, even though I'm not. I don't know. I want to be excited for Doctor Who's future, but like, there's always just some shit that like happens where I'm like, oh, good lord, like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh dear. When does Doctor Who become the new Stranger Things? Says Adam. Yeah, exactly. Come on, Russell. What's going on? I'm good on him for thinking Doctor Who should be bigger than Stranger Things or as big, because that's just how Doctor Who fans act. We all think this little science fiction TV show is better than anything else on TV, but it's not, unfortunately. There might be a few episodes here and there that are really good, but most of the time, a few too many episodes of Space Babies that have come out, and I'm a Space Babies defender. Jacob says, Jacob, have your single fins arrived yet? Your beers? But Jacob says, crazy how consistent the era is compared to the 13th era. We may not love it, but it goes to show how far it's come because people actually care again. I will say this, yes, I'm certainly enjoying this era a lot more than I have the Jodie era. The Jodie era I was completely disconnected, at least with this. Well, yeah, at least with R2D2 there are episodes that really do blow me away and make me remember why I love Doctor Who so much. I have to go to the toilet, so I need to waz. I'm sorry, everybody. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to use the toilet outside. I'll be 2 minutes. Here's a chair react. All right. What's my name? XQC. All right. Or Hassan Piker. What? Some of the worst creators on Twitch. All right. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. 2 seconds. Hi now. Okay. Okay. Stay, door, stay. Alright. She likes to slide open by herself. That's what she said. Oh my goodness. Okay. What did I miss? What did I miss? Anarchy in the chat. Oh dear. Oh dear, what's happened? Let me check. I'm gonna crack another cider, even though there was a tweet made about Aiden and I, and this person called us. What do they say? They said, what was it? The guys of the 50% Doctor Who podcast are alcoholic cowards. What an awful thing to say. How dare you? That is defamation, okay? What a lot. I read that on Saturday night and I was just like, just gone, and I was like, what's going on here? Like, what's going on here? I mean, like, I like to crack a tinny on a Friday night and do a live stream. Is that illegal? I'm sorry. I think that person is a bot. For real? Because I checked out their account and they seem pretty real to me. Yeah. It just sucks. Like, sometimes I feel like the problem with being a YouTuber is, I think, you I thought that was your biggest hater on Twitter. Yeah, that is my biggest hater on Twitter. But they liked my tweet, where I made a tweet saying that I owed Pete McTighe an apology for Lucky Day. And they liked that tweet because I think they thought I was being serious. Like, for the record, I don't owe anyone an apology, okay? But, like, it was a figure of speech, okay? But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know that person. They've jumped down my throat a few times. I've been in like 2 Twitter controversies before, and I've seen them really jump on the bandwagon to like pull me down, and I don't know really how to react to stuff like that, because when you're doing YouTube, it's so unique in the sense that no one really does it, and you can't go like down the pub and just talk to random people and be like, oh, you know, I read this comment about myself, so that really hurt my feelings, because they'd be like, I don't know how to react to that. I don't know what that feels like. It's even like, you know, like Oscar uploaded a shorts video that we filmed in like Adelaide last year, and yeah, you just go on into the comments and it's almost like I don't want to say self-harm is a very harsh word, but it's like you almost know you're going to read something about yourself or multiple things that are just going to be hurtful and harsh. And I went through those comments, and it was just so hard to read, and it was just, I don't know. And you go on TikTok, and that's all. I don't go on TikTok. I mean, I have an account just to like the podcast accounts stuff, and you know, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. It's just sometimes I feel like, you know, it's just kind of like open season to like go on a creator and just like shit on them. But you know, just remember everyone's human. Not that I need to tell you guys that, you're all beautiful. So what have I missed here? It'd be cool if you did the thing you did leading up to Power of the Doctor, and each week was a different episode from a different Doctor in order. Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it? That was more for the celebration type thing. I think we did that for the 60th as well. If the Story of the Engine lands, do you think it could be a top 5 series? Yeah, definitely. Ah, so Jacob's beers arrived. Thank God. See, that person who called me an alien alcoholic on Instagram, on Twitter, maybe they're alright, because Jacob got recommended beers from me, so... Would it be, I hope you how are the caramel koalas, Jacob? I heard they came with them, you were saying. Would it be cool to get more thoughts on Trouton on the podcast? Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. I'd laugh if Rami found hundreds of people join and think they were all watching an empty room. Yeah. You know, normally I think, you know, I haven't gone to the toilet on the podcast for a while, but I used to do that back in the day. I'd be like, yeah, when me and Aiden were filming, I'd be like, oh, let me just go to the toilet real quick. It used to piss Aiden off. I think people are connected and engaged with Doctor Who well at the moment, due to worrying about it getting cancelled or going on a long hiatus. Got those late 1980s vibes. I have to agree. Good cameo by Connor's Chair, the 50% empty podcast, 50% empty road podcast. Anyone timing to see if an actual 2 minute or longer at my age, it would definitely be longer. Oh, what, for my Waz? Oh goodness. I thought that was your biggest, I read that. That is gross to hear someone said that. Hope it doesn't put you off. Haters gonna hate. Yeah, no worries, it's all good. Gary says, what time is it there? It's 3 AM here in Los Angeles. Some TV series just finished their night shoots next door. Amazing. It's currently, wow, 6:01 PM. Friday the 9th of May. Wait, Los Angeles? I've got Los Angeles on the back of my shirt, actually. Hold on. This is an H3 merch shirt. I don't know if you can see the back of my shirt, but it says Los Angeles. Los Angeles! A place I've never gone to. I'm just watching the replay now, but yeah, it says on the back of the back. I kind of totally missed that on the... I was watching the feed. I was like, I totally missed that. You saw it briefly, Los Angeles, on the back of my shirt. My wife has 230 followers on TikTok and always have to tell her not to read the comments. Yeah. So bad. So bad. Stephanie says, it's 6 p.m. in Perth where Connor is, 8 p.m. here in the east. Hobart, Tasmania. Hobart. Bat. We didn't really talk about story in the engine much, did we? Not really. Bat. Ba 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 ba. What you gonna do, huh? Good old Perth. Trying to think if there's anything really to say. How about we do the 50% bit at the end? This is what we do every week. We do a part at the end where we talk about anything. Anything. Could be Doctor Who, could be life. Just throw it in the comments and I will read it. Do you have any predictions for the episode? Time Lords? A TARDIS? A big spider? I don't know really. I think, which is good because that's why I'm here. I'm here to get my opinion about it and I'm doing a great job of that. I don't know. I don't know. You guys have a spot here anytime you visit. Thank you so much. Thank you. I've always wanted to go to LA, actually. I was actually kind of planning on going to America for a couple of weeks, but I got this new job, so, which is fine because I really wanted a job like that and I'm super lucky to get it, so. Predictions for the episode though, not really. I think what my title says, I would say a secret TARDIS and Time Lords would be my prediction, but who knows? I'm very excited though. I mean, the idea of a poet writing Doctor Who, I think we could get some really good speeches. Here's the thing. One thing I will say about last week's episode, and I didn't say this on the podcast, I feel like the speech in the TARDIS at the end wasn't terrible, but I don't think it was like great. But people went nuts for it because I think we haven't really gotten any good Doctor speeches in a long time. I think the last great Doctor speech we got was actually from the Doctor Falls. Jodie never had any, and I actually don't really think she's had an amazing one yet. He's had a few couple speeches. It was something that Matt Smith kind of made notorious, you know. So, you know, last week with Lucky Day when he did that speech in the TARDIS to Conrad, I feel like people really juiced it up and were like, this is the best thing ever. But I just think they're a bit deprived from, you know, they're a bit speech deprived. And yeah, I think the speech was fine. I don't think it was anything incredible. And that's coming from a guy who really liked the episode, but still. Have you met any of the new people you're going to be working with? No, I've met two people interviewed me, but to be honest, I don't think I'll meet much staff because I think I'm just going to be working by myself, and I haven't met any clients yet. So I have to go. New clip just dropped, live reaction. Fuck yeah, let's do it. New clip just dropped. Okay. Whee! 5 minutes to go, okay. Okay, let's do a live reaction. You ready, guys? I can't really. Do you want to watch it together? Let's watch it together. Alright, ready? Alright, I've turned it up as loud as it goes. Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1. Very beautifully directed. Oh, it's the barbershop, it's the TARDIS. I'm loving this direction.
That is why the tortoise has a crack in the shell. Mama! Doctor. Hey! Come. We're gone. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.
Wait, why is Belinda in the TARDIS and the Doctor's out and about doing his thing? What is going on here? I can't find my Telling a human when they're going to die is pretty cruel. Yeah, that is cruel. But he kind of deserved it. Conrad Clark, I can't get my fucking live stream up anymore. Ah! Sorry, I'm getting all the questions up. Don't you know? Ah! You can hear me screaming. Ah, it's Daniel! Daniel, my brother, you are older than me. Do you still feel the pain of the scars that won't heal? Your eyes have died, and you see more than I. Daniel, you're a star. Is that why people tune in to hear me sing? Why do you think the TARDIS is going wrong? What, in the clip? I don't know. The big spod, maybe? The big spider? Do you think Shooty will regenerate? Hopefully not, but because I feel like I still don't know his doctor, but I think he will. Yeah, I feel like I don't really know his doctor either, so you know, I certainly hope not. Yeah, it sucks. I know. I feel like I'm getting to know his doctor a bit more now, but you know, by say like Matt Smith's second season, I knew everything about him. With Shooty, I have next to no idea. You were right about the TARDIS stuff. Who, me or a commoner? Good point. I didn't like how the Doctor seemed to relish his dire prediction about the rest of the villains gone blank on his name, like it seemed un-Doctor-like. Doctor got off the TARDIS to get a haircut real quick in between getting back to 2025. Yeah, honestly, I think that's exactly what's happened. Trapped in the TARDIS has Donna vibes. This got me hyped for Sat. Crazy because 9 had a full arc, a well-defined character, and he only had one series. Yeah, I know, and that's the thing, you know. I feel like we have seen in the past the Doctors can have one series and be really good. But, you know, you said something about the TARDIS earlier, barbershop relating to the TARDIS. I think you were right about that. Right, I said maybe the barbershop could be a TARDIS and the people inside, or at least someone inside, is a Time Lord. Because in the trailer they showed the other day, or I think it was last night they put it out, or earlier this morning, when they're doing the things when they're like, what to expect in this week's episode. There's a woman like pointing like I'll use my AirPods like this, and it goes nah, like the sonic screwdriver. So could be something like that. I don't know. But I like to be right about things, so. Alright. Just gonna keep doing that. The barbershop was a TARDIS the whole time. The shed was a TARDIS! Like Rose's shed, yeah. If you could make one change to RTD, what would it be? That's a hard question. One change to RTD2. The Series 1 final. I feel like if the final was great, we could let the rest of Series 1's like flops go. But with it being the way it is, just having a bad final and it being 2 parts, the writing, says Jeremy, there was some good parts. I mean, I think his writing in 73 is great, and that's kind of it really for me with Russell in Series 1. But there's stuff like Rogue and this. I would put Rogue on par with Lucky Day. Well, actually, I like Lucky Day more than Rogue actually, but similar episodes, like kind of low-ish stakes with some good vibes. The final was a letdown. Get the dog on a lead, lol. Yeah, that final sucks. And I always say this because I've been around a few bungees in my day at work, or my old job, should I say, rip the goat. There's no way that Bungie would be able to support whatever Sutek is. Just saying. Props the character writing, says Jeremy. Yeah. Character writing is so important. It's something that Russell did so well in his first era, and just here it hasn't done well at all. It's sad, man. But I'm very keen for tomorrow. I normally say this 2 more times, but does anyone have any final questions? This is the second time I say this, and then the third time it really will be the last time for questions. We're coming up to an hour. So, second time, any last questions? It could be about life, it could be about Doctor Who, it could be about me needing to get a haircut, actually. You know, barber episode might get me excited for a haircut. Crazy they wasted the God of Death on that long. I know the whole idea of the last drinks, yeah, yeah, last drinks. Sorry, I'm heading out, so last drinks. I just say that. I'll say that. I'll say that when I ask for the last questions on the last time. Like last drinks. More episodes. Yeah, that's a good point. More episodes would have been good. 8's not a lot. It's like RTD has lost imagination. In a way, yes. In a way, yes. It's like, I was kind of saying it before, you kind of have to like sift through a lot of shit to get to some really good episodes. And the problem is, and I was saying this last week, the problem is, even episodes that I really loved in this era, except for Wild Beyonder, I would say, it's always quite divisive. Like, I know people who hate Lux, for example, an episode that I love. So, you know, it's kind of, everything's so divisive. I don't know how to feel about that anymore, you know. But still, gotta say, yeah, I'll say it. I've been finding this series, actually, it's the most I've enjoyed a series probably since, I don't know, actually. It might be, I don't know. I love Peter's Doctor so much, but I found his era and his series quite bad. But maybe series 10. But series 10 was pretty shy. But I really have been enjoying this series so far. I really have been. I think we could be onto a bit of a banger here. It would just suck if like it was too much too late. You know? Jeremy says, need to stop watching Series 5 because Amy has more personality and development in one episode than Ruby did in the whole run before Lucky Day. Series 5 is probably the best series. Probably, yeah. Series 5, yeah. Yeah, probably. I'd say Series 5, like writing, structure-wise, characters, Rory not being a part of the TARDIS team and then joining and then dying and coming back at the end. It had time to breathe at 13 episodes. Yeah, I think Series 5 is probably the best series of Doctor Who. Who would you cast as the next Doctor? Myself. I don't know really. I kind of hate, you know, people have been predicting the next Doctor again. I'm like, oh Christ, here we go again. I hate this like leading up to it. Because it's such a big choice, and if they cast someone I don't like, you know, it's gonna be like that for probably 5 years. So I don't know. I think they'll probably cast a woman again, because if I could predict what they're gonna do, I think they would do like woman man from now on. But you know, I could be totally wrong. I don't know really. I don't really know many actors that would do it. I honestly though, the problem is you need to find someone like Matt Smith who's like kind of an unknown, because any big actor probably wouldn't want to take on Doctor Who right now, because it's, I hate to say it, but it's just, it's not really what it used to be, and it's a bit of it's a risk, you know. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing to have on your resume. I mean, playing the Doctor is like, it's an iconic character, and it always will be. But still, you know, it could be a bit risky right now. Like, I think Shooty would be lying to himself if he thought this whole thing's gone the way that Russell pitched it. Russell will be pitching it like it's going to be the biggest thing in the world. You're going to be like an icon. You're going to be everywhere, and that's not how it went. not to be a dick. It's like RTD has made everything fantasy rather than sci-fi, so he doesn't have to think through plot resolutions. Yeah, that's fair. And Jeremy says since Flux for me that the most he's enjoyed a series. Yeah, no, Flux is a great call. Yeah, Flux I had such a great time with. Yeah, I would agree since Flux. Funny, I just forgot about that. I think I just associate JD Zero with like depression and darkness for me. This was a dope pod and discussion. So much more fun to have only 10 in the room instead of 10k. Yeah, I would prefer 10k, but you know, that's because I'm a bit narcissistic. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. And I feel like I keep saying your name wrong. I'm so sorry. Brian? How the fuck do I'm so sorry. Brian. I don't know how to say. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Thanks, mate. Get a coffee on me, and F the haters. You guys are doing great, and always look forward to the podcast. Thank you so much. Bryony. I think it's Bryony. Bryony? I would say it's that. I hope so. Thank you so much. That's so appreciated. Thank you. That's very, very kind. This is my hot take, but I feel like RTD is trying to be like Moffat with all the mystery boxes, but he just needs to be RTD and write good characters. I completely agree. Series 10 is overrated in my opinion. My top 3 are 4, 1, and 3. I would probably say I would agree, except instead of 3 I would put 5. I would say series 4, 1, and 5. Jeremy says series 1 or 5 for me is so close. Series 1 is a low-key mid until Dalek. There is non-stop bangers. Series 5 is just continuously good minus the Silurian two-parter. I like the Silurian two-parter, and also I love the Sabine two-parter, Aids to London and World War 3 in series 1. I think Rose and the Sabine two-parter kind of saved the first 5 episodes, but I agree, the End of the World and Unquiet Dead is a bit mid. Jacob says I have a theory that all Doctor Who is better in hindsight. I've never experienced a series that was universally loved at the time, not even the series 1 to 5 from what I call classics now. I agree, yeah. I mean, I was around, those times as well, and they weren't treated like that at all. So, yeah, it's kind of like, it's sad. It's almost like we're never satisfied, but I remember people hating on the Moffat era and hating Steven, and now people are like clamoring for him to come back. Minus Rose, says Jeremy. Okay, fair enough. We were talking about the first 5 episodes of Series 1 there. Capaldi holds a special place, knowing he achieved his childhood dream of playing the Doctor. Yeah, that would be like me if I ever got the chance to play the Doctor. That would be my dream. A Welsh Gion, another Doctor Who channel, I don't know who that is, said his friend, who was one of the Crypt Bad Wolves, said episode 3 and 4 were the best, which has me a bit worried for the Cohen episodes. 3 and 4, so The Well and Lucky Day. Guess we'll have to see, really. Get me a job at Bad Wolf. Jeremy says, seems like Shooty is leaving because of the large gap between filming and uncertain filming schedules. Makes sense. Go to take all of RTD's God resolutions have been lame as hell. I love the Lux resolution. I think the idea of him, becoming light in itself, like he wants light so much that he becomes light itself. He becomes the thing that he dreams about. I thought it was great. Really. You got it right, mate. All good. Bryony Miller. Where are you from, Bryony? That's an interesting name. I like it. Alright, last call. You know what that means. Last call. Ring the bell. Ding, 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 ding. Last call. Last call on questions. Last call on questions. I think the visuals of the Lux kind of make up for the writing of the resolution, in my opinion, but Lux is still good. God, I love Lux. I'm a luck simp. Last questions. Who's sending the party things? You can send off a little emoji. Who's doing that? Tell me. I love that. It's like the party emoji, like a party popper. Last question. Send them in. Send them in. No one said anything yet, so I guess I'll just sit here. Do you want me to start singing again? That's what's gonna happen if no one sends any questions. Jacob says we should think of a special code shout out you can do on the main pod to acknowledge us live goblins. I can call you my goblins. I like that. We go goblin mode on these pods. I'll be like, shout out to my goblins. Shout out to my goblins. I like it. Jacob, you've set the name. My goblins. Alright. Shout out to my goblins. If you were to say your favourite 10 stories, are there... Who keeps sending those things? I can see you doing it. Who is it? I see love hearts going now. Who's doing it? I wanna know. I love when people do that. I want to say thank you. A personal thank you. If you were to say your 10 favourite stories, are there any you'd be certain on, or would you give any you consider but unsure on? Maybe Lux. I don't know if it would fit in my top 10, but probably Lux. Maybe Midnight. There are episodes like Heaven Sent and 73 Yards and Waters of Mars that I know is gonna be in there, probably even top 5. Maybe Boo might be considered in my top 10, but maybe not. That was just such a hype having Steven back, so I get kind of controlled by the hype, I think. Goblins isn't a bad name for us staying at home on Friday night lol from Melbourne. Yeah, we are goblins. Do you know what I did today? I've been playing Call of Duty Zombies with my best friend Dan at his house, and he has the PS5, so it's Black Ops 3, but it's remastered. I found my old Xbox and I dusted it off, and we're going to be playing some OG Zombies tonight. I put in Black Ops 1 today, Black Ops 1, and the graphics were horrendous. But I remember back in the day playing that shit thinking it was the coolest thing ever. So I'm going to be playing some Black Ops 1 on Xbox 360 tonight. Can you believe that? Crazy. What is your favourite podcast episode you've done? And just before I answer that, Gary says, I'm down, Aiden will be jelly. Yeah, get Aiden on the live stream. What's going on? What's the favourite podcast? Oh, Gary deleted that message right after I answered it. I'm sorry, Gary. Mr. Scarlett says, yeah, what's your favourite podcast episode you've done? I don't know, probably the 100th. Probably the 100th episode. Probably. I don't know. How many have we done now? Nearly 300? That's insane. Not counting all the live streams I've done. Nearly 300 episodes. I mean, it's kind of hard to pick, really. The 100th episode was really good. That I feel like we nailed that. You only get one chance to do a 100th episode, and I think we did really good with that episode. I always go back to that. Yeah, probably that. There's so much we've done, I kind of forget. It all just becomes a blur. Not only is our 300th episode coming up, it's also in, I think, June. 5 years of doing the podcast. So that's kind of nuts too. Because we started it in 2020 when COVID was going crazy. Not that in Perth we never really went into any lockdowns, but like we could still like socialize with each other for the most part. There were the occasional, I think the most we locked down for was like a week or two. So we could still film in person, but we did it through Zoom. I don't know. I try not to look back on it because I get nostalgic. Do you think you'll do anything special for the 300 episode? I hope so, yeah. Hopefully it doesn't fall during like some series 2 episode, because we'll just have to do like a normal episode and then do something else later. But yeah, ever thought of writing your Doctor Who ideas in script format? Follow. Oh, Jacob just sent me a message on Instagram. I see. Um, Let me read that again. Ever thought of writing your Doctor Who ideas into script format for followers to read? I have, yes. But I'm so deluded. I'm so delusional, right? The reason I haven't done that is because I'm so delusional in the fact that I think that one day I will actually take over Doctor Who, and I can actually use those ideas. How delusional of me! My goodness. Nah, to be honest with you, the thing is, like, yeah, I do have my best script idea would be like, but it'll be mid-season though, and I feel like it would only work if you have the context of the previous episodes, and it would already be like a Doctor and companion being together and having friction through the previous episodes. So that episode would hit hard when you've seen the other ones, but if you're just reading the script and hearing about these characters for the first time, it wouldn't hit as hard. But I guess I could always write the pilot. I do have an idea for the opening episode. I have an idea for an open episode, an episode 4, an episode 8. It'll be a 10 episode series. It'll be good. Someone give me the job. Come on. You wouldn't put Sutek on a lead, so I'm backing you. No, I wouldn't. So far I've got original ideas. Like original monsters. But the chances of me getting the lead showrunner is like 1,000,000 to 1. Maybe 1,000,000,000 to 1. But there's still a chance. I probably wouldn't even like to write Big Finish. I feel like the only reason I would ever like write them out is if I was doing it for the show. Yeah, Jacob says just send you a message to show you the beers I ordered. Ordered them when drunk, so don't know if they're the right ones. Okay, I would check it out when my phone's filming. I will let you know. And if you don't mind, Jacob, do you mind if I repost it to the Instagram story so we can show people? Okay, I'm gonna go now. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for all the love. I will see you on Sunday when we review the story of the engine. We do these live streams and I barely talk about the episodes, but either way, it's what you expect when you come here. But thank you, everyone. Much love. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Jacob will let me post the beers to the Instagram story, so go follow us on 50.2 if you want to see that. Thank you so much, everybody. Adios. Thank you. Peace and love. You guys are the best. Thank you. But maybe it's a script being read here could blow up online. You can get a job. I know a few writers who got hired from writing fanfic. Yeah, I heard there was a fanfic Star Trek script that went really big. So potentially, maybe. I'm currently very slowly writing my own TV show about my own life, which sounds very narcissistic, but it's about the worst time in my life. So if that sounds interesting and fun, get ready, because I think I'm gonna try and film it next year. I'm gonna try and get it'll be 6 episodes, all uploaded to YouTube for free. I'm going to try and get all 6 scripts done by the end of the year, but we'll see. I probably will not get anywhere near close to that. But thank you, everybody. Now that's the show I do have. I have 5 episodes sorted out. 6. No, I think the other day I literally think I came up with the final. But I don't know. I think that idea. I like the idea of making a show about. It sounds so narcissistic, but I want to do a show about, like, I don't know. I feel like if I say what the idea is, it sounds so wanky, but, like, yeah, just being, like, a really small YouTuber while working and, like, dealing with, like, depression and anxiety and stuff. And, yeah, it could be terrible. A lot of things are. So, and when critics make stuff, it's very hard because people are like, oh, you criticize this writer for doing this, but you did it here. But I would like to think I wouldn't make the same mistakes. Who knows? You can see when you watch it. It's called Connie, and it's coming hopefully at the end of 2026. Who knows? Maybe early 2027. Alright. Thank you, everybody. Peace and love. I'll see you soon. Sounds little could help others. Thank you. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Thanks. Have a beautiful, beautiful night. I'll do my Trump impression. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye. See you, folks. Bye.